Becoming a J-1 scholar at Stanford. You have been invited to be a J-1 scholar at Stanford. Congratulations! The DS 2019 looks like this and has some biographical information. It has a useful brochure attached, which contains a lot of information, so don't throw it away. This information guides you through the visa application process and prepares you for your arrival in the US. The first thing you need to do is apply for a visa stamp. Before you do that, you will have to pay what's called a SEVIS fee, and the brochure tells you how. We also have instructions on our website. You cannot obtain a visa stamp without paying this fee. Even Canadians who don't need visa stamps need to pay this fee. The next step is to contact the US Embassy or Consulate in your home country for your visa stamp appointment. You will need to complete the DS 160, an online application form to schedule this appointment. Some posts require that you pay additional fees for the visa application. Once you have your visa stamp from the embassy or consulate, you can make your plane reservations to Stanford. You may enter the US up to 30 days before the start date on your DS 2019 and up to 15 days after the start date on your DS 2019. Please make sure that along with a valid J visa and your passport, you have the DS 2019 form with you on board, so you can present it to the immigration officer when you land in the United States. One more thing before you depart for the US. You will need to consider what kind of health insurance coverage you will have at Stanford. The insurance must meet the J visa requirements, which are listed in your brochure, and you must not only have coverage for yourself, but also for any dependents for the entire time you are in the US. If you will be a postdoc or visiting student researcher, you can have Stanford health insurance. Visiting scholars and fellows will need to find their own health insurance. If you need help figuring out whether you can have Stanford health insurance, please contact your Stanford department. Please do not arrive at Stanford without health insurance. One question we hear a lot is, what do I do when I arrive on the Stanford campus? The first thing you should do when you arrive at Stanford is complete and submit your arrival confirmation web form. The link to the web form is in the brochure. You can also go to Bechtel Center's homepage and look for quick links. We can now validate your SEVIS record. If you haven't found an apartment to rent yet, just enter the address of the hotel or friend's place where you are staying. You can change your address later on. Please don't use your academic department's address on this form. Please be aware that due to recent changes in immigration policy, any violation of J status will trigger unlawful presence, beginning the day after the violation. Enough time accumulated unlawfully present in the U.S. can result in being barred from entry to the U.S. in the future. For more information, please look at our video about unlawful presence. Finally, when you've submitted the arrival confirmation form, we'll invite you to a J Scholar orientation at Bechtel, where we can meet you and tell you more about the J program at Stanford and how to stay compliant. We will also tell you all about the programs and events we have at Bechtel for the international community. The Scholar Orientation at Bechtel is also a great time to have your DS 2019 signed for travel. The travel signature allows you to re-enter the US in J status during your program at Stanford. You cannot re-enter the US without this valid travel signature. We look forward to welcoming you at Bechtel.